Hello, friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Toddler using old phone calls 911 for donuts and gets a sweet surprise. Written by Heather Riggleman, read by Julie Provost. A toddler using an old phone calls 911 for donuts and gets a sweet surprise. Some calls to 911 are desperate cries for help. Others are the kind that leave you grinning ear to ear. That's exactly what happened when a little boy named Bennett picked up an old phone and decided there was only one real emergency in his world: an urgent need for donuts. The Moore Police Department in Oklahoma recently shared the adorable audio of Bennett's call. It's the kind of wholesome, laugh-out-loud moment that reminds you that there's still so much sweetness in this world, literally. At first, the dispatcher on the other end was met with a mix of gibberish before the call dropped. Then the phone rang again. "Donuts? I want donuts. Are you going to share your donuts?" the dispatcher asked, picking up on the toddler's request. 911, it's an emergency, Bennett insisted. "An emergency?" she asked. "Emergency donuts," he replied. And if you've ever tried reasoning with a toddler, you know there's no talking them out of what they've set their heart on. The dispatcher asked one more time if Bennett planned to share his donuts. "No, I'm not," he said. "And you know what? Fair enough, buddy." The next day, officers from the Moore Police Department decided to bring Bennett's emergency request to life. They arrived at his house with a fresh box of Dunkin' Donuts, ready to deliver the kind of police response that makes a kid's day. "You called us about donuts," one officer said as he held out the box. "We came to give you some donuts." And Bennett, his reaction was nothing short of pure joy. "Yes," he explained, eyes wide, smile stretched from ear to ear. His brother stood next to him, equally delighted, as the officers opened the box and let them grab a treat. The best part, Bennett had used an old phone, one that wasn't connected to anything but still had the ability to dial 911. And while this probably wasn't the emergency call the police were expecting that day, it turned into the kind of moment that reminds us all why community matters. Because sometimes kindness looks like showing up. Sometimes it's a round of applause in a hospital hallway for a little girl that just wants to dance. And sometimes it's a couple of officers showing up with a box of donuts just to make a toddler's day a little sweeter. And maybe, just maybe, the world needs more emergency donuts. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. Psalm 34:8.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
There's no place like Israel, rich in history, culture, and spiritual significance. From walking through ancient Jerusalem to floating in the Dead Sea or experiencing Tel Aviv's modern energy, it's a destination like no other. While I haven't visited yet, I've heard how life-changing it is. Now more than ever, we stand with Israel and pray for peace. I look forward to exploring its beauty one day. Learn more at goisrael.com.
Stranger stopped to check garbage tossed out by driver and found it wasn't trash at all. Written by Adam Staten, read by Julie Provost. A stranger made a startling discovery after looking into the trash someone threw out their car window. Animals, like humans, are part of God's creation. They are obviously important parts of his creation. In the book of Genesis, God spends valuable time creating animals that live on the land, air, and sea. God put animals on the earth before man, according to the first book of the Bible. However, one person in Georgia tossed out two precious members of God's creation from their car. Someone treated them as if they were nothing more than trash. Luckily, a curious woman investigated and came across the two discarded kittens. Discovery happened after the woman who found the kittens witnessed someone throw trash out of their car window at a busy intersection in Duluth, Georgia. Duluth is a town about an hour northeast of Atlanta, according to USA Today. The woman who found the two kittens took them home for the night and then brought the cats to Planned Parenthood, a local pet care and adoption facility, according to a social media post from Duluth Police Department. Planned Parenthood, in a Facebook post on the incident, states the two kittens, who were less than a week old, did take to a bottle, and new homes have already been found for them. Sadly, in a separate post on the incident, a third kitten was also found close to the same intersection, but it did die. Now the search is underway for the individual who heartlessly tossed the kittens out of the vehicle, according to A&F, an Atlanta area news station. Planned Parenthood is offering a $5,000 reward for info that leads to the arrest and conviction of the individual responsible. The world can be a cruel and heartless place. It boggles the mind to think someone would actually throw kittens or any animals from a vehicle. However, the terrible incident also shows that there are still kind and caring people in the world. The Good Samaritan cared enough to investigate the trash and get the kittens proper care and medical attention. Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man respects the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.